Often when people ask me, what's the best thing that ever happened to you from like an investment standpoint, I remember I was a teenager. I was always saving money, but my goal was to get to $10,000. That's what we're going to be talking about today, why it's so critical, and the great things that happen whenever you reach that milestone. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey, I'm Luke Downey. This is another edition of Lessons with Luke. I don't even know how many we've done thus far, but I feel like I just keep cranking this out. Hopefully this is helpful. But anyway, I've been investing for a long time, about 2 decades now. I'm getting old. I've got kids. I just want to pass down a little bit of nuggets of wisdom of things that I've learned and just make you a better investor. So make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the elusive $10,000. I'm going to tell you how I did it. Then I'm going to tell you how you can do it. And I'm going to tell you why I did it and why to this day, it was one of the best things that I ever did. And the way I did it is, starting out when I was 16 years old, I remember, single mother. So I had to work. Okay. It wasn't like I was, given a lot of things. And I went to work. The first job I ever had was at a sandwich shop, made a bunch of sandwiches. I remember my wage was $5.15 per hour. Can you believe that? My, oh my, how things have changed. But I didn't have that many expenses, right? I still lived at home. I did work out a lot. So I did have a gym membership. I had that bill that I needed to pay. Everything else kind of like went into the bank. And then I became a bookkeeper. And that's whenever my income started to go up and I was able to save a lot more money. Okay. And whenever I opened my first brokerage account is with $2,000, I opened up a Roth IRA. I think I was 18 years old. And the rest was history. I basically started buying index funds that focused on the market. That's what I think anyone should do. So if you are going to be starting out investing and you want to get to $10,000, if you're young, start out $500, $1,000, whatever you can save, whatever you can do with your job. It's just like a bill, right? The average, car payment in the US is probably like anywhere from $300 to $500, $600, depending on if it's used or if it's new. Same thing. If you're going to be paying yourself, it's basically a bill that you are going to be collecting every single month to make sure that you take care of yourself. And so that's what I did. That was my game plan. I met with a financial advisor and I said, you know what? I need to get to $10,000. And so I started putting money away, like $500 a month, $600 a month. And I just got so obsessed with this because I was like, you know what? I want to reach financial freedom. Okay. And along the way, I started getting involved in stocks. I started saying, you know what? I think, investing in mutual funds is like totally great. It's the best way to start out. The stock market tends to go up 10% every single year, and it does. That's where the average is. It goes up a little, goes down a little, but typically it's going to be right around that 10%. And I remember when I reached $10,000, there was just this freeing event that happened. One is I just felt like, wow, I got $10,000 that I can move around. Like if I lose my job, I'm okay. It's almost like my emergency fund. And so a couple years later, what ended up happening, $10,000 turned to 20,000, turned to 30,000. And because I was able to have a nest egg, right, which was pretty sizable to me, I was able to take some chances in life. And, I realized, what did I want to do for my career? I wanted to be on Wall Street. And so I was able to make a move to New York City. Again, I had saved tens of thousands of dollars. And the whole idea was, right when I graduate college, moving straight up to New York, going to look for a job, going to work really hard. I'm going to work harder than anyone else. And the good news is I didn't have a job, right? But I had a lot of money saved. And that gave me the power and the wherewithal to just look for a job. I finally found one. And what was the downside? The downside was I was going to move to a new city. And if I didn't get a job, I just moved back home, right? Because I have enough money to pay for rent and everything else that I need. And what's the other downside? I get to go and check out New York City. I mean, that's technically an upside, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, how you can actually get to your first $10,000, because I'm telling you, it's a great milestone. It's going to make you feel better. And likely, whenever you get to your first 10,000, it is going to motivate you to continue to save more and more. So again, I could talk about this for hours, I swear. How do you get to your first $10,000? We're going to talk about it today. So look, where am I? I'm at investor.gov. This is a cool site if you want to just do some compound interest calculations. So I want to do stuff that you can do at home. That's why I'm going to this website. So your initial investment, $250, right? So if you got a job, can you save $250? That's what you need to do. Monthly contribution. And I'm just assuming you're going to be putting into like a mutual fund or an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. That's the broad gauge of the market. $400 per month. Length of time is 3 years. And then your estimated interest rate is going to be 10%, because that is what markets do historically. And so in 3 years, what do you have? $16,000. Okay. And so this is like the coolest chart ever. And look, I know some people are like, oh my God, it's 3 years. That's so long. What am I going to do? But you got to start somewhere. Okay. You got to get a game plan. You got to be consistent. This is a great way to do it. And I think everybody, if you're going to start out investing, you're going to start building an emergency fund, you're going to start building wealth on your way to $10,000. The best way to do it is to start out with index funds that track the market. Now, look, market might sell off. Doesn't matter. You're going to keep with that game plan. You're going to keep reinvesting. And eventually, after enough time, the market's going to continue to go higher. That's what I fully believe. That's what it's done historically. That's probably what it's going to do in the future. But needless to say, what else are you going to do with your money? You're either going to invest it into great American companies like in the S&P 500, or you're just going to go waste it on something and it's not really going to benefit you. So there's a lot of pluses about starting out. I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 18. I don't care if you're 35. I don't care if you're 65. You got to start somewhere. And you've got to make a goal. And the way to do that is to be consistent and do something that's super easy. And the best way to do that is just start investing every single month into an S&P 500 fund and get along with it, because you are going to start to like it quarterly. Whenever you get your statements, you're going to see that money start to multiply after months and years, most likely. And it is going to be so cool. You can show people, and it's going to set you up for success, not just in investing, but it's also going to teach you a lot of life's great lessons out there. Do without now to have more later. And then, maybe you'll be able to figure out what you want to do. Maybe you'll be able to take a chance. Maybe it's not moving to New York City. Maybe it's starting a new business. Maybe it is investing in stocks. Maybe it is starting a new career. Maybe it's traveling somewhere. Whatever it is, you'll have the ability to do it. It's going to take a little work, but you got to be consistent and you got to start now. So that's your lesson for this week. I'll see you next time.